Welcome to Hania English Podcast. Today we're diving into something super relevant to a lot of you, I think. Building wealth, especially when you're in your 20s. We're using this book, Financial Mastery, as our guide. And get this, it's not just about penny pinching and budgeting.
Right. It goes way deeper than that.
Exactly. We're talking mindset shifts, side hustles, even how your friends can impact your money. Stuff you don't always hear about.
Yeah. It's about the whole picture.
To help us break it all down, we've got our expert here who's amazing at making even the trickiest money stuff easy to understand.
Happy to be here.
Okay, so let's be real. A lot of people in their 20s are like, oh, money. You know, student loans, maybe living paycheck to paycheck, feeling like real wealth is for, like, other people.
For sure. It's easy to fall into that trap thinking, oh, I'll worry about investing later when I'm making bank. But that's where this book throws a curveball.
Really? Why is waiting a bad idea? Wait, does it make more sense when you have more to throw around?
Well, the thing is, as our income grows often, so do our expenses. You get a raise and suddenly it's like, hey, I can totally afford that bigger apartment or whatever. The book calls this lifestyle inflation, and it's a killer.
Lifestyle inflation makes sense. It's like you're running on a treadmill, earning more, spending more, never really getting ahead.
Exactly. And that's where the book's big idea comes in. Wealth begins in the mind.
Okay, let's unpack that. What's a wealth mindset anyway?
It means recognizing that what we believe about money actually shapes our reality. We all have these stories in our heads about money, right? Maybe from our families or society, like money is evil or rich people are all jerks.
Oh yeah, I've totally heard those.
The book calls these limiting beliefs, and they can seriously hold us back.
So step one is fixing our money mindset. Seems almost too simple. But I guess if you think you're bad with money, well, you probably won't make good choices.
It's about rewiring those deep-seated beliefs. And one tool they suggest is a mindset reset journal. Have you ever tried journaling?
I have. It's great for processing, thoughts and stuff. But how does that help with money?
It's like this. When you write down your negative money thoughts, you're bringing them out into the open. Then you can challenge them. Are they even true? Can you reframe them into something more positive?
So instead of, I suck at saving, I might write, I'm learning to be more mindful and make choices that get me closer to my goals.
Perfect. By doing this consistently, you can shift your whole perspective from scarcity to abundance.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
But mindset is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
What's next on this financial mastery journey?
Once we've tackled those beliefs, we need to address another biggie. Wasting money on things that don't really matter. The book calls these money drains, and they're sneaky.
Oh, I know all about that. Those little expenses that add up. I have subscriptions I never use and don't even get me started on my latte habit.
We've all been there. Those expenses might seem tiny on their own, but they can really drain your account without you even realizing it.
The book gives the example of a $5 coffee every day, and that's $1,800 a year. It's like this hidden expense that most people don't even think about.
And that $1,800 could be invested earning you even more money over time.
So how do we stop wasting money on these, stupid things? Does the book just say, no more fun?
Not at all. It's about being more aware of where your money is going. The book introduces a cool tactic called the investor's question.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Before you buy anything, ask yourself, would a savvy investor spend money on this?
So instead of just, do I want this? It's more like, is this actually a smart use of my money?
It shifts your perspective. You're not just a consumer anymore. You're an investor making decisions to build your future.
Love that. It takes the emotion out of it and helps you think long term.
Exactly. So we've got the mindset. We're spending smarter. What's next in building wealth in our 20s?
Bring it on.
Well, saving is important, but it's just one piece. To really boost your wealth building, you need to learn how to make more money. That's the book's third step.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. Most advice is all about cutting back. I love that this book focuses on earning more, too.
It's about diversifying your income streams.
So not just relying on one job or one source of income.
You got it. Think outside the 9-to-5 box. Explore ways to generate additional income.
This is where side hustles come in, right? The book has a whole section on that. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy or time-consuming.
The best part is you probably already have skills or talents that you can turn into cash.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, if you're a good writer, you could offer freelance writing services. If you're amazing at social media, you could help businesses manage their online presence. If you love teaching, you could tutor.
The possibilities are endless, and the book stresses that anyone can do this, even if you're starting from scratch.
It's about finding your strengths, finding a need, and taking action.
And the book gives you a step-by-step plan, right, to make it all happen.
Absolutely. It walks you through everything, from brainstorming ideas to finding clients and marketing your services.
Okay, so we've covered mindset, spending, and multiple income streams. Where do we go from here?
Well, once you have that extra income, it's time to make it work for you. That's where step 4 comes in, saving and investing like the rich.
Now we're talking. This is where real long-term wealth comes in. But before we jump into investing, let's talk about the difference between saving and investing. A lot of people get it mixed up.
Great point. Saving is for short-term goals or emergencies. It's about keeping your money safe and accessible. Investing is about putting your money to work, aiming for long-term growth.
So saving is like putting money in a piggy bank, and investing is like planting a seed and watching it grow into a tree.
Perfect analogy. Saving is the foundation, but investing is how you really grow your wealth.
Investing can feel intimidating, though, especially for beginners. Where do you even start?
I get it. But this book makes it easy. It breaks down the process into simple steps. It's like a roadmap.
Walk me through it. What are the key steps?
The first step is an emergency fund.
An emergency fund. That's basically a safety net, right? Money you can access if something unexpected happens,
Right.
like losing your job or facing a big medical bill.
Exactly. The book suggests having 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved in an easy-to-access account.
Makes sense. So once you've got that safety net, then you can think about investing.
Right. But before choosing specific investments, it's important to understand the different types of investment accounts. The book explains the options like brokerage accounts and retirement accounts.
So it helps you figure out which account fits your situation and goals.
Exactly. And a key point is starting small. You don't need a ton of money to get started.
That's good to hear. A lot of people think you need thousands of dollars, and that can be discouraging.
Even small, consistent contributions can grow significantly over time, thanks to compounding.
Compounding. That's like the magic of investing, right? It's your money earning interest and then that interest earning even more interest.
Exactly. Like a snowball getting bigger and bigger as it rolls down a hill.
But to really benefit, you need to be patient, right? It takes time.
That's the key. Compounding rewards long-term investors.
Okay, so patience is key.
Yeah.
What about diversification? The book mentions that too. What does that mean when it comes to investing?
Diversification means spreading your investments across different asset classes to reduce risk.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Investing all your money in one stock is risky. But if you invest in a mix of stocks, bonds, real estate, and other assets, you're more protected.
So it's about creating a balanced portfolio.
That's the goal. And the book makes it easy with a beginner-friendly plan broken down month by month.
Awesome. So we've got the mindset, the spending habits, the multiple income streams, and now we're investing. What else is there?
Well, knowing what to do isn't enough. You have to take action. That's where step 5 comes in, building an unstoppable work ethic. This was where things get real. It's about understanding that financial success doesn't just happen. You have to work for it. It takes dedication, discipline, and consistent effort.
So it's not just about working hard at our jobs. It's about being really committed to our financial goals.
Absolutely. Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. You need patience, perseverance, and a willingness to keep going even when you don't see results right away.
That's so true. It's like anything else in life that's worth achieving, whether it's fitness, relationships, or learning a new skill. You have to put in the time and effort.
Exactly. And the book suggests setting clear, specific, and measurable goals.
So instead of just saying, I want to be rich, you need to break it down. For example, I want to save $10,000 for a down payment on a house in the next 2 years.
Perfect example. Concrete goals give you something to aim for. They keep you motivated.
The book also talks about creating a productivity system, right?
Absolutely. It's about finding tools and strategies that help you get things done, whether it's using a to-do list, time blocking, or eliminating distractions. The key is to find what works for you and helps you stay focused.
And the book emphasizes having a strong morning routine, right? It's not just about productivity. It's about setting the tone for the whole day.
I love that they focus on this. Starting your day with intention, purpose, and positive energy can make a huge difference in your mindset and actions.
They recommend things like waking up early, exercising, meditating, and reviewing your goals. It's about preparing your mind for success.
And it's not about following a rigid routine. It's about finding what works for you and creating a morning ritual that sets you up for a productive and fulfilling day.
Okay, so we've talked about mindset, spending, income investing, and work ethic. But there's one more part of the blueprint that I found really surprising.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the part that often gets overlooked, but it's so important. Cutting toxic people and creating a winning environment.
It's about recognizing that the people we surround ourselves with have a huge impact on our mindset and our ability to reach our goals.
Think about it. If you're constantly around negative people or people who make bad financial decisions, it's going to be harder for you to stay motivated and make smart choices.
It's like you're swimming against the current.
But if you're surrounded by positive, supportive, and ambitious people, their energy can be contagious. They can inspire you to aim higher and hold you accountable.
It's like having your own personal cheerleading squad.
Exactly. The book says that the people we spend time with shape our beliefs, our habits, and our results.
But how do you create a winning environment? Do you have to cut off all your friends and family who aren't on the same page financially?
Not necessarily. It's about being more mindful about who you spend your time with and making choices that support your well-being.
So it's about spending more time with people who lift you up and maybe setting some boundaries with those who bring you down.
That's a great way to put it. And the book gives you some tips for doing that.
Like what?
Well, first, it suggests doing an audit of your social circle. Look at the people you spend the most time with and ask yourself, are these relationships helping me grow or are they holding me back?
That's a good idea. It makes you more aware of who's influencing you.
Exactly. And once you've figured out which relationships aren't serving you, you can start setting some boundaries. You can spend less time with those people, decline invitations, or gently redirect the conversation when it gets negative.
So you're taking control of your environment and surrounding yourself with positive influences.
Exactly. And the book also encourages you to actively seek out communities and relationships that align with your goals.
Like joining groups or going to events where you can meet people who are also focused on personal and financial growth.
Exactly. It could be a local business networking group, a mastermind group, an online forum, or even just a group of friends who are on the same page.
The key is to find people who inspire you, challenge you, and support you.
Right. This step really highlights the importance of your environment. We often underestimate how much our social circle affects our choices and our well-being.
Okay, so we've covered all 6 steps of the blueprint. That's a lot of information. But you said earlier that the book explains the why behind the strategies. Can you give me an example of how it connects the dots between actions and the bigger picture?
Sure. One example is the concept of lifestyle creep. It's something that can sabotage even the best financial plans.
Lifestyle creep. I've definitely heard of that. It's like when you get a raise, instead of saving or investing the extra money, you just start spending more.
Exactly. It's a gradual increase in spending as your income goes up. You might upgrade your apartment, get a nicer car, or go on more expensive vacations, and suddenly you're back to living paycheck to paycheck even though you're earning more.
It's like this sneaky thief that steals your financial progress.
That's a great way to put it. And the book explains that lifestyle creep is often driven by a desire to keep up with the Joneses, that pressure to have the latest gadgets, the nicest clothes, and the biggest house.
Social media definitely doesn't help. We're constantly seeing images of people living these lavish lifestyles. It can make you feel like you're not good enough.
Absolutely. That's why the book emphasizes self-awareness and financial discipline.
So it's about being mindful of your spending and making sure your choices align with your long-term goals.
Exactly. It's about asking yourself, do I really need this, or am I just trying to impress people? Or would this money be better spent on experiences or investments?
It's about shifting your mindset from consumerism to intentional living.
And the book gives you some practical tips for fighting lifestyle creep. For example, setting a budget and tracking your expenses to see where you can cut back.
Budgets. Everyone talks about them, but I've always found them so restrictive and time-consuming.
I understand. But budgeting doesn't have to be a chore. There are apps and tools that make it easy. And remember, it's not about depriving yourself. It's about making conscious choices.
And the book also talks of the power of compounding.
Yeah.
I still don't totally understand what that means.
Compounding is like earning interest on your interest. It's what makes investing so powerful over time. Imagine you invest $1,000 and it earns 10% interest in a year. You now have $100. Next year, you earn 10% interest on the $100, not just the original $1,000. So you end up with $1, $210, and so on.
So the longer your money is invested, the faster it grows.
Exactly. That's why it's important to start investing early, even with small amounts.
Can you give me an example of how powerful compounding can be?
Sure. Let's say you invest just $100 a month, starting at age 25, in a portfolio that earns an average of 7% per year. By the time you retire at 65, you'll have over $300,000. And that's just from $100 a month.
That's amazing. It really shows how important consistency and long-term thinking are.
Exactly. Compounding rewards patience and discipline.
Well, compounding is definitely powerful, but the book also talks about another way to make money, passive income. It sounds too good to be true.
Passive income is the dream. It's income you earn without actively trading your time for it. It's money that works for you even while you sleep.
Sounds incredible. But how do you actually create passive income?
There are a lot of ways. The book talks about investing in dividend stocks, real estate rentals, and creating digital products.
Let's talk about those dividends. Dividend stocks are stocks that pay you a portion of their profits regularly.
Exactly. When you invest in dividend stocks, you're basically becoming a part owner of a company, and you get a share of the profits.
And dividends provide a steady stream of income even if the stock price goes up and down.
Right. And you can reinvest those dividends to buy more shares, which compounds your returns.
What about real estate rentals? That seems a little more hands-on.
It can be, but it can also generate a lot of income. When you own rental properties, you collect rent from tenants, which can cover your expenses and give you a profit.
But being a landlord comes with responsibilities, right?
Absolutely. You have to find tenants, maintain the property, and deal with any problems that come up.
So it's not totally passive, but it can be a good way to build wealth.
Right. And then there's the world of digital products, which has become really popular.
Digital products, what are those?
Things like ebooks, online courses, software, and apps.
So you create the product once, and then you can sell it over and over again without having to do extra work.
Exactly. And you can reach a global audience without worrying about inventory or shipping.
Wow, that's really interesting. It's not just about working harder. It's about working smarter and creating systems that make money for you.
And that's the key to financial freedom, having the time and resources to do what you love, spend time with people you care about, and live life on your own terms.
This is all so inspiring, but I know it's easy to get excited about ideas and then not actually do anything.
Yeah.
Does the book help with that?
Absolutely. It wouldn't be a blueprint without a plan of action.
What's the plan?
The book challenges you to put everything into practice with a 7-day challenge called the First $10,000 Plan.
Wait, are you saying you can make $10,000 in a week?
Not quite. It's not about making money magically appear. It's about proving to yourself that you can take action, make progress, and build momentum.
I like that. What does the challenge involve?
Each day focuses on a different part of the blueprint. Day 1 is about doing a financial audit, tracking your income and expenses to see where you stand.
Get a clear picture of your finances.
Exactly. Day 2 is about using that mindset reset journal, writing positive affirmations, and visualizing your success.
Reinforcing that positive money mindset.
Right. Day 3 is about taking action and cutting unnecessary expenses. Find at least 3 things you can cut back on and redirect that money to savings or investments.
Putting those spending tips into practice.
Absolutely. On day 4, you start working on your side hustle. Spend an hour brainstorming ideas, researching, or taking the first steps to launch it.
Creating those multiple income streams. What about day 5?
Day 5 is for setting up your investment account if you don't have one already, and making a small, regular investment, even if it's just $50. The goal is to build the habit.
Small steps lead to big results.
Day 6 is about productivity and environment. Eliminate one time-wasting habit and replace it with something productive, like working on your side hustle or learning a new skill. Also, connect with a mentor or join a supportive community.
Creating that positive environment for success.
Exactly. And finally, day 7 is all about reflection and commitment.
So looking back at your progress and recommitting to those new habits.
Precisely. It's about making those positive changes a part of your life. The 7-day challenge is just the beginning.
I love how the challenge breaks everything down into small steps. It makes financial mastery seem more achievable.
It's about showing yourself that you can make progress. It builds confidence and momentum.
Okay, this 7-day challenge sounds great.
Yeah.
But I want to go deeper into some of the things we've talked about, like lifestyle creep. How do you actually break free from that cycle? It's so common in our society.
It is sneaky and often starts with good intentions. We tell ourselves, I deserve this, or I worked hard so I can treat myself, but those little treats can add up.
So it's not about never having fun. It's about making sure your choices align with your goals.
Exactly. The book gives you tips for resisting the urge to spend more every time you get a raise.
Tell me more. What are some of the strategies?
One simple technique is the 30-day rule. Before you buy something big, wait 30 days.
Wait a whole month.
Yes. It gives you time to think about whether you really need it. Often after 30 days, the urge to buy goes away and you realize you didn't need it after all.
That's smart. It helps you make better decisions.
Another strategy is to focus on experiences instead of things.
So instead of buying a new phone, you could go on a trip or spend time with loved ones.
Exactly. Experiences create memories that last longer than things.
That's true. I remember a trip I took a few years ago. It was amazing, and the memories are still with me.
And those memories will last longer than the latest gadget.
Okay, so we've got some good tips for fighting lifestyle creep. What about compounding? How do we maximize its potential?
The key is consistency. Invest regularly, even if it's just a small amount, and be patient.
It's like running a marathon. You have to pace yourself.
Exactly. And a great way to stay consistent is to automate your investments.
Automate. What does that mean?
It means setting up a system where money is automatically transferred from your checking account to your investment account on a regular basis.
So it's like setting up automatic bill payments, but you're paying yourself.
That's a great way to think about it. Automating takes the effort out of investing. You're consistently investing no matter what.
That's a great idea. It takes the pressure off.
Exactly. And once you've set it up, you can relax and watch your money grow.
This is all making so much sense. But I have one more question about investing. The book talks about diversification. Why is that important, and how do we do it effectively?
Diversification is about spreading your investments across different asset classes to reduce risk.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. If you invest everything in one stock and it does poorly, you could lose a lot of money. But if you spread your investments, you're more protected.
So it's about creating a balanced portfolio.
That's the goal. A simple way to diversify is through mutual funds or exchange-traded funds, ETFs.
Yep. Mutual funds and ETFs, those are like baskets of stocks or bonds that are managed by professionals, right?
Exactly. They offer instant diversification because you're investing in a group of assets instead of just one.
So you don't have to pick individual stocks or bonds yourself.
Exactly. And there are so many options to choose from, so you can find one that matches your goals and your risk tolerance.
This is all starting to feel much less overwhelming. It's amazing how much valuable information is in this book.
It's a fantastic guide to financial mastery. But beyond the strategies, I think the best part is that it changes how you think about money. It gives you the power to take control of your financial future.
I agree. It's not just about being rich. It's about creating a life of abundance, freedom, and purpose.
And that's something worth working towards, no matter where you are on your financial journey.
And we're back, wrapping up our deep dive into financial mastery. It's been awesome exploring all these ideas for building wealth and, really taking charge of your finances.
Yes, totally. We've covered a lot of ground, not just the practical stuff, but the mindset shifts too. Those are so key.
For sure. We've hit on everything from spending habits to side hustles to investing. But there's one thing I want to circle back to. It really got me thinking. The whole idea of opportunity cost.
Ah, yeah. Opportunity cost.
Yeah.
That's a biggie. It's Econ 101, but it applies to our everyday lives in a big way.
I got to admit, I'm still not 100% clear on it. Could you break it down for me like I'm 5?
Haha, of course. Basically, every financial decision we make has a trade-off. When you choose to spend money on one thing, you're automatically choosing not to spend it on something else. Opportunity cost is the value of that other thing, the thing you're giving up.
Okay, so like if I buy those amazing shoes I've been eyeing, the opportunity cost is maybe the money I could have put towards my student loans or, I don't know, a weekend trip.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that every dollar has the potential to be used in different ways and understanding what you're losing out on when you make a choice.
The book had this great analogy. It's like a jar that represents your time and resources. Every dollar you earn is a marble, and you only have so many marbles.
Right. Every time you spend, you're putting a marble in the jar. You got to be picky about which marbles you choose.
So it's not about saying no fun allowed. It's more about being aware and making sure your spending matches your values and goals.
Exactly. It's like asking yourself, is this worth it? Am I okay giving up other things to have this?
That's a really good question to keep in mind. It helps you make smarter choices.
It can totally change your whole approach to spending. You become way more intentional.
This whole deep dive into opportunity cost, it's honestly changed how I think about money. It's not just about earning or saving. It's about making every dollar work for you.
And that's what financial mastery is all about. Being in control, making smart decisions, aligning your money with what matters to you.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. We've gone deep into financial mastery, learned so much from mindset to real strategies for building wealth.
And it's just the tip of the iceberg. This book is packed with wisdom that can totally change your relationship with money, help you create a life of abundance.
If you're in your 20s, or even if you're not, and you're feeling lost or overwhelmed with money stuff, I highly recommend checking out this book. It's a game changer.
It gives you a roadmap for building a solid financial foundation for living a life of purpose and reaching true financial freedom.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave everyone with a question to think about. Something we haven't touched on directly, but that connects to everything we've discussed.
Oh, I like this. What is it?
Imagine you've achieved all your money goals. You're living the dream. What does that actually look like? How is your life different? What are you doing? Who are you with?
That's a great question to ponder. It forces you to get specific about what you want and why. It connects your goals to something bigger.
Right. When you have that clear vision in mind, it's way easier to make the right choices each day, even if they're tough.
So spend some time with that question. Let yourself dream big picture, that financially free version of yourself.
This has been such an amazing deep dive. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise.
My pleasure. It's been great chatting with you about this important stuff.
And to everyone listening, remember, your financial future is in your hands. Take action, make smart choices, and you can create a life of abundance and freedom.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Hania English Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for more life-changing tips and insights. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for financial mastery.